donkey in the forest, kicking up dust. Oh, you can shoot him if you got to, but don't let him get loose. Oh, man,
Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in.
between the eyes, but they never come close.
The Swamp Donkey theme. Swamp Donkey recorded right here at the studio here in West Chicago. And my nephew Cole and his friends from childhood. I am really out of sorts today. For as long as I tried to get going, late. Sorry. Let me shut this off. And Happy New Year. Happy New Year. As I get ready for the new year, first of all, credit. Swamp Donkey is my nephew Cole and Zach and Ethan. The kid that played drums when they recorded this like 5, 6, 7 years ago. I don't remember what his name was. He's not really around anymore. I'm not sure what his deal is. But they were all back. They were all around for Christmas. And they did a show down in Yorkville. And let's see, that would have been the 27th at the law office in Yorkville. And it wasn't really Swamp Donkey because it wasn't the original lineup. But they had a different guy played drums. And he was, and they've all, they haven't done anything in 5 years, and it was great. And they opened with that, like that was like the theme, the band theme, and it was great. I mean, it was great, and the band was great, and the room was full of energy, and the whole thing was super fun. And they're not kids, they're adults and accomplished musicians and accomplished human beings, and it was really cool. So. A tribute to some young men who are out in the world doing it. So it's cool. It was cool. Last day of 2024, pretty wild. I would have to say that I didn't think that I would live this long for pretty much most of my life, and I'm pretty surprised that I got here, but, cool. As we look ahead, I think there's some challenges ahead, but we face them and give it our full effort, 2025 and beyond. Looking back on the stream to no one continues to have someone's. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for participating. Thank you for your input and listening. And it's growing. The whole thing is growing. So far, there have been 62 total episodes, and for the most part, they have been mostly me playing a song, telling a story, and then at some point, I started to play 2 songs at least. More recently. and trying to work on being a little more structured. And that's kind of what less rambly, more structured. Like I literally write out, what the plan is. The plan is to review. The plan is to play a couple songs. But the review is that this started out. If you're new to this, hi, thanks, welcome in. If you're coming to this, obviously these are stored on the page, and most people are coming on to this at a point later, and not live, which is great. Those of you who join live every week, thank you. It's great. I really enjoy that. I'm working every week to improve how to interact, or to what's coming up in better lighting, better this, better that. So how to set this up to be more fluid in here, and all of that kind of stuff. So it's like, that's a timer to make sure that I'm paying attention, which I didn't start right away, but to make sure that I'm paying attention to how long I'm going. I was setting up some things in here so that I have a board, a whiteboard over here that I mounted, and I got a little behind the 8 ball, so I don't have anything written on it yet. I didn't have the markers. I didn't have the stuff, so that instead of having it on a piece of paper here, I have it over here so I can write it down and then change it for each week for what I want to say and what blah, 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 blah. So I realized as I was writing up my little description that there's a song that I wrote on New Year's Eve. I got to think, it had to be 1999, 25 years ago. Because I know where I lived when I wrote it. It had to be 1999. Now, I haven't played it I couldn't tell you the last time I played it. And as I was writing the description a little bit ago, I wrote, it's the last day of the year. And that's one of the lines in the song. I'm like, I should play that. And as I sat down and was trying to get all my stuff together, I was trying to remember how it goes. And I know I don't remember all the words, but we're going to try it. So it's like, it's called If Only. We're going to see how far I can get. After all the sunscapes, pieces of time in a vacuum, so often the answer is just dangling out of the end of your nose. Your eyes just don't seem to see what is right there. Do you know what you're looking at? Do you know what you're looking for? And it's the last day of the year. And I'm sitting there staring out of the window at the traffic light. Why is the way? Say what if is the way to if only is the only way to find out where you're going. There's more, but I can't remember any more of the words. I think there's I could mumble. You go. That's how you write a song. You get like one version. And it's the last day of the year, and I'm sitting there staring out of the window at the traffic light. Why is the way to say what if is? You get the idea. All right, that's as much as I can remember. There's like a stop and a bridge. I don't remember the bridge at all. Yeah, I'll have to figure that one out. I forgot about that song. See, that's what happens when you write songs. Sometimes you forget some. And I wrote down that phrase, it's the last day of the year, and I went, oh, I remember that song. I got to remember that song. So, see? Cool. It gives me something to work on. So, that was that song. So, what I intended on doing was looking ahead. We reviewed some of the things we did. So, like, we did a whole bunch of songs, covers, most of the mainstay originals. We did, Is It Ever Gonna Be? We did, let's see. Let's go through them. We could, you can always, if you're new, or if this happens to be the first stream that you come across, you can always go back on the live tab and start digging through them. Now we can go back to, let's see. Probably. Oh, that's me. About. So let's see. Minutes to Memories. We did John Mellencamp. That's a good one. We did Thunder Road. That's Springsteen. That's a good cover. We did what else? Is It Ever Gonna Be? So that's an original. We did. Oh, the night that Chris was here, my brother talked about this. And Chris Orba, the keyboard player, was here, which we got a gig coming up later in the month. So this, we'll talk about that at the end. Chris Orba plays keyboards in the band, and he came back. I don't have the date written here, but we did. Let's see, written here, I have David Grissom, which means that would have been a Good Day for the Blues. It would have been, my brother said we did Lowen and Navarro. So, what Lowen, drawing a blank on the song. And I know we did a Dawes song because Chris didn't realize what song. This is how great he is. He didn't realize what song I had asked him to. Like, he had confused, and he had prepared the wrong song, and I was like, that's all right, no worries. And while I was getting something prepared, he looked up the chords because he sort of knew it but didn't really know it. And when he played that song that night, that was literally the first time we ever played through it. It was great. So that was a cool night. And my brother commented on how much he likes that episode. So that's a testament to how well it went. And then there's some other stuff. There's a bunch of stuff. I look for the Walking in Circles. I didn't realize that's an original. Episode 22, 23, we did. Cover Me Up, Jason Isbell. That's a toughie. Absolute Reality. I forgot about that one. Alarm. See, that's fun. It's like the TV show at the end of the year when you watch. So there's a whole bunch more that I won't waste any more time doing that. But had I been more prepared, I would have wrote all these down. But as well as having my brother in here as a guest, that was great. Having Chris in here as a guest, that was great. Having Steve Savalio in here. I asked him when we released Good and Broken to because Steve has great pipes. He does. He's got like a day gig like the rest of us. But he like we as musicians go out and do musician stuff on the side. He worked on being a voiceover guy because he has these great pipes, And so I asked him to come in and sort of interview. I said, "So would you mind coming in and kind of interview me?" And he goes, "No, I'm going to come in and actually interview you," which was great. And he came in and he was all prepared and he had a bunch of questions. It was great. It was a great question and answer. That was a great night. And so that was fun. And I'm sure I'm forgetting something, so I hope, because my phone went blank. So Gene was here. Fabulous Gene. Gene was here singing at some point. So that was great. And then very recently, a couple weeks ago, the episode with Aaron Kelly, which all the new people I'm meeting at the open mics has been wonderful, and I've met a whole bunch of people in the last few months that have been wonderfully supportive and really help. That was funny, and really helping push the original, helping me find more confidence to really focus on playing original music as the main focus as what I do in a live setting, and instead of the majority of things being covers and kind of filtering in the originals here and there, kind of flipping that the other way around. So that's going into next year, the idea is to flip that over the other way and have the majority of things be original, and start filtering out the cover material and have the majority of the material be original. The positive feedback I'm getting is allowing me to be confident enough to try to do that. So that's the plan. And then additionally on the stream, next year is going to be very guest heavy. And the objective is to discuss songwriting, talk about songs, talk about the craft of songwriting, how people approach it, whether it be I started discussing people that I've friended out. These new friends, I go out at least 2 or 3 nights a week and play at open mics. and working on developing, a crowd, I shouldn't say a crowd, like a network of friends, and the beginnings of an audience, and places to play, and a community. There's a wonderful community out there, and many of the people, because Aaron, who is here, is pretty well known in this area, and does very well for himself over the last, I would say, 7 to 10 years. Has worked very, very hard, and does very well. A lot of people saw that episode, and asking other people if they wanted to come in. The response has been great. I have 12 people lined up already for the year, and more people that were like, yeah, and people that agreed. My friend Bob from childhood agreed, but he was going to do it a while back, and then it didn't work out, and we haven't rescheduled. And there's some other people that we talked about but haven't scheduled. So there's like all the way to April or into May, maybe. So it's cool. It's exciting, and the idea is to really discuss songwriting, and whether it be influences, or how things are approached, or what you used to write, or when you started writing, and also fun. Being the object is to be fun. So that's things to look forward to for next year. And that brings me to the next thing, which is that, many of you know, Fred the Screaming Goat. He helps us with the dumb joke of the day, which ends our show but this, we're going to start featuring album side of the week. And this happened very organically. I started listening to records again. And I, like Chuck, the drummer, Chuck, my oldest friend in the world, was going to bring, had been listening to records, and for my retirement party in June was going to bring his record player and play records, and it didn't work out time-wise, but and then he very nicely gave me an LP as a gift for my retirement, and it was cool. Los Lobos is one of our favorite bands, he and I, and he gave me this Los Lobos album, and it was great. It was a great gift. And then the very next night after my retirement party, I went to see Will Hogue, who actually played at my retirement party, which was really cool. And when I spoke to him briefly the next night, it was great. And I ended up buying a record from him as a souvenir keepsake thing. And then I ended up, after that, buying a record player to play these things. Not a fancy, expensive one, but a record player. And I had a couple of records. And then recently I've been going and playing at these record stores that have musicians play in them. And I bought a couple of records. And then Dawn, my lovely wife, has all these old records that she never got rid of. And I never really listened to... I always rated my brother's record collection, but I never had much of a record collection because he had every great record that ever existed. But when I was a kid, I railed against the classics. Like I was interested in new stuff. If it was old, like Zeppelin or the Stones or whatever, I was like, no, that's dumb. If they're not going to put out another album, screw that. So, which was narrow-minded and, idiotic. But anyway, Dawn had like Pink Floyd and Zeppelin and Tony Bennett and what's the other one? It's a great one. Well, it'll be featured anyway. And so I started playing records when I'm working downstairs, and Led Zeppelin 2, side 1, Led Zeppelin 2. I put it on, and I really never got past it for several days. I just kept playing side 1, Whole Lot of Love. What Is and What Should Never Be, the Lemon Song. For God's sake, the Lemon Song. And Thank You. And then, I'd go back and just put the needle back at the beginning and play those 4 songs again. And then, and then it would get to the end and go, tick, 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 tick. And after a couple times, I'd put the radio back on and listen to the sports talk or something. And then all of a sudden it occurred to me, like, I should feature an album side every week. Because I listen to some other stuff, but this was the one I listened to the most this week. So this week, Led Zeppelin 2, side 1. Now, if you don't have a record player, that's okay. But what you can do is take these 4 songs, Whole Lot of Love, because don't just pull up the album and push play. You got to go with the side. There's really something to the side. The first 4, Whole Lot of Love, What Is and What Should Never Be, the Lemon Song, and Thank You. And I've noticed from classic albums from my childhood that you got to be careful on this newfangled interweb thing. They flip the songs order around on the Spotify. Because one of my childhood albums is my favorite was By the Alarm. I knew every song in the order and what was next, and then I listened to it a couple of years ago, like when I first got Spotify, and they, somebody, whether it be the band or the record company, changed all the song order around. I'm like, that's baloney. I think that's crap. Anyways, so that's every week we're gonna do a album side of the week. So that's the new feature. So. Song. Coming up when we play O'Neill's. We will be featured on Sunday night as the open mic, and then and that's the 12th of January, and on the 24th we will be there all night. And when we are there all night, we are going to do this song. It's kind of a train song. Baby said I'm traveling on the 1 after 99. Move on, honey, traveling on that line. Said move on once, move twice. Come on, baby, don't be cold as ice. Said you're traveling on the 1 after 909. Bang on the glow and the big on the bend the knees. Fooling around with me. I said, move on once, move twice. Come on, baby, don't be cold as ice. Said you're traveling on the 1 after 909. Got my bag, run to the station. Man said, wrong location. Got my bag, run right home. And then I find, got the number wrong. Well, said you're traveling on the 1 after 909. Move on, honey, we're traveling on that line. I said, move on once, move twice. Come on, baby, don't be cold as ice. Since you're traveling on the 1 after 909. Got my bag, run to the station. Then got the wrong location. Got my bag, run right home. Then I find I got the number wrong. On the 1 after 909. Move on, honey, we're traveling on that line. I said, move on once, move twice. Come on, baby, don't be cold as ice. Since you're traveling on the 1 after 9, no. Since you're traveling on the 1 after 9, no. supposed to do the oh Danny boy, blah 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 blah. That's fun. That's one of my favorite Beatles songs, and I had I just heard it and I was like, oh, that's great. I'm gonna learn it, and so I did, and there it is. So what do you think? Wasn't awful, right? I realized halfway through that two things. Number one, I was in such a hurry that I never really tuned. It's kind of... It's in tune with itself, sorta. But it's definitely not, Alright, so there's that. Then I thought maybe I'd do, See, it's hard to do those next to each other. Hear that train coming round the bend. Nights in the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison and time keeps dragging on. And I hear that whistle blowing. I don't have the words for this one. And I was just a baby. Mama told me, son, always be a good boy. Don't ever play with guns. I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. And I hear that whistle blowing. I hang my head and cry. Probably rich folks eating and fancy dining cars. Probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. I know I had it coming. No, I can't be free. But that train keeps moving, and that's what tortures me. They freed me from this prison. If that railroad train was mine, probably move it on a little farther down the line. Far from Folsom Prison, that's where I want to stay. And I let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. All right. Bonus New Year's Eve. You got 3. So, we are announcements.
Announcements. It's time for your announcements. Coming up on your announcements.
Do we have to stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance before we do announcements? We did when I was a kid. I think that's when in the morning when they did announcements, we had to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Maybe. I can't remember. On Tuesday, so the starting guest driven literally starts next Tuesday. Christian Allen Hansen is a fantastic singer-songwriter, local artist that he's a young man that writes songs and does I don't know, would you call it modern country? It's sort of that newfangled, Tyler Childers kind of, Chris Stapleton-ish kind of, it's not that glitzy country. It's more that. Anyways, he's a fantastic young man and a great singer-songwriter, and I've had a number of conversations with him, and I remember him saying recently, last year I think he said, I may have the numbers wrong, that he played like 10 gigs. This year he played 100 gigs. So like in 2023 he played 10. In 2024 he played 100. That's quite a difference. And then later in the month we have Patrick Spiroff. And then on the 12th, as I mentioned earlier, O'Neill's, we're doing the open mic feature at 7 p.m. And on the 24th, we're playing from 7 to 10, 7 to 10:30, 6:30 to 10:30, or whenever they kick us out. I think on the 17th at Black Dog Vinyl in Plainfield, I think my friend Demi has a singer-songwriter showcase. You should go to that. I think that's what I wrote. I wrote that down in my book because I saw it advertised, and I'm not 100% sure, but it's written in my book, and if it's happening, I'm going. You should go. On the 9th of January, I am in Woodridge at Chula's as with Miguelito. He does it's a fantastic restaurant, and he plays every Thursday, and he has another artist play with him, and I am lucky enough to be his guest on the 9th. And on the 28th it's Tuesday the 28th at 7 p.m. There will be no stream, but MeL Muzic is one of 4 indie bands at the Arcata Theater, and tickets are $10, but we really hope you'll consider coming out and supporting us that night. We're doing a half-hour set of original music, and we're really excited about it. So we hope you get a date or a friend or a couple friends and come join us. So we're looking forward to that. So that brings us to Dumb Joke of the Day. Aaron, our favorite mailman, would be proud of me because I remembered when the mail was in there to put the flag up before the show even started. So Aaron, you're rubbing off on me. So today's Dumb Joke of the Day. I got to get a theme. Today's Dumb Joke of the Day is from a Dan Tana in Las Vegas, Nevada. And this joke says, what kind of key would you need to open a banana? Why, I don't know, Mike. What kind of a key would you need to open a banana? Why, that would be a monkey. Wow. That was very loud. Much louder than I expected. Who jumped? I jumped. That was better. I got the drum too. I'll have to make that quieter next time. All right. Happy New Year. See you next year. Right? I said it. There. I did. I said it. I think we got through everything. That was a long one, though. I went too long. That was probably too long. It was a year in review. Sorry, I went too long. Happy New Year. Truly, truly thankful for those of you who pay attention to this. And next year is going to be good musically. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Internationally and globally, and yeah, we'll just stop there. All right. God bless you. In the words of the great Ray Rayner, bye, bye, bye.